Today we're going to talk about the 10 biggest decisions you'll need to make as a young man, and point number 1 is going to confuse you a little bit. All right, if you get value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to show you a chart that if you want to get all the notes I have, be sure at the end to go to PBD Entrepreneur Circle on my neck. Free. We'll give you the PDF. Let's get right into it. Number 1, first decision you have to make is how selfish do you want to be and for how long? Let me explain. When you look at this chart, many years ago, I'm working with my guys in the insurance company, and I'm watching the brokers that are very good at developing newer brokers. And I'm watching guys who are horrible at developing new brokers. And I kept going and saying, maybe they're not good with people. They were. Maybe they're not very good in this business. They were. Maybe they're not very good salespeople. They were very good. Some of my best salespeople I had weren't good at developing others. And then I would go over here. Some of the guys that built some of the biggest agencies weren't the best salespeople. They weren't necessarily the most talented people. Some of them had terrible accents. But this score, when it comes down to how selfish they were, they had the right mixture of selfless and selfish. By the way, this is not to say being selfish is bad. You're gonna see when we go through this chart, and this is the graph we finally came up with. Here's what it looks like. When a person is 100% selfish and 0% selfless, this is a criminal. This is a danger to society. When everything in the world revolves around you, you're the worst person to be around. You're horrible for society. When it's 90-10, you're a narcissist. Everything revolves around you, but you still don't commit a crime because you want to make sure to be able to enjoy your life. So you're not going to commit a crime because it's all about you, right? 80-20, these are solopreneurs. These are the guys that want to have a laptop. They want to go somewhere and be like, hey, I'm in Thailand. I'm working, making $7,000 a month. Look at me. I don't need anybody's help. I'm doing this by myself. Solopreneur, net positive to society, pretty good life, but it's around mainly what they want to do. That's the 80-20 split. The 70-30 is the perfect split. These are kingmakers. These are drivers. They're 70% selfish because they have big goals. They want to go do big things. They have certain aspirations in place, but they're selfless enough to understand you can't do it by yourself. You need to develop other people. You need to sit there and develop this person's identity and say, you're capable of doing this. You need to go out and find the right people around you. 60-40, this is a synergist. This is somebody that gets everybody to be able to work together. This is one of the most valuable assets in any company, is to have synergists. 60-40 split. They're still selfish. They still want to move up. They still would like to want to be a VP. One, they would like to be a C-suite executive. They would like to be financially free. But they're still about building the team and bring everybody together. Then you got the 50-50. These are the advisors. They're thinkers. They sit on the board. Well, I think we need to. They're not the biggest doers, but they're thinkers. What if we did this? What if we did that? Very inquisitive questions that they ask, but they're not the ones that get the job done. Then you got 60-40 good team members. Then you got the 70-30. They're selfless, 30 selfish. They're somewhat passive. Oh, do whatever you want to do. It's okay. It's okay. A little bit on the passive end. They're not net positive to companies, society, sports teams. Then you have the 80-20, indecisive. All they want to do is conform, make everybody around them happy. Again, problematic. 90-10, these are weak-willed. They're scared, somewhat cowardly. And then the 100% selfless, 0% selfish doesn't exist. So now why am I showing this to you? Here's what's crazy. Generally speaking, it's not always the case, but generally speaking, the younger you are, the more selfish you are. And the older you are, the more selfless you are. Why? You have more to lose. You have a wife, you have kids, you have grandkids. So you're thinking about what your kids are doing. You're thinking about what your grandkids are doing. You naturally evolve into being a selfless person. If you're 50 years old, 45 years old, single, no kids, the world revolves all around you, you have a very high selfish score and everything is about you. You may think you're living a great life, and you may be somebody that doesn't commit crime. You have some money in savings. You're doing pretty good for yourself. But the reality of it is that the life you want to live when you're 45? At 25, I get it. 30, maybe. 45, probably not. You may want to make some changes in your life. By the way, we're getting close to the end of the year. This whole thing I'm showing you, this chart, is on page 184 in the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely. If you've never read the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, I wrote this book a couple years ago. It's all about how to put a proper business plan together based on 12 building blocks, 6 logical in your business plan, 6 emotional. This is the right time to order this book and the audiobook to prepare for 2026, which is around the corner. So if you haven't done that yet, we'll put the link below for you to be able to go order that book for yourself. All right, next, number 2, whose bus to get on? We don't like the word follow, but the reality is everybody follows somebody. I follow people gladly. And the younger you are, it's very important to choose whose bus you want to get on. Very, very important. We're at our event at MGM Grand Arena. Coach K is there, one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time. He gets up on stage. He's being interviewed by Matt Sapala. He tells a story. He says, when I was younger, I'm out there playing basketball. My mom says, hey, Mike, come here. I got to talk to you. What's that, son? Always remember, be very careful whose bus you get on. It's like, what do you mean, Mom? Be very careful who has influence over your ear. Meaning, who do you follow? How does that person live? What does their personal life look like? How do they look like financially? How do they raise their kids? Are they net positive to society? Do they have victim mindset? Are they always blaming somebody else? Are they taking responsibility? Are they leading? You know what's better for you, but sometimes it's easier to listen to somebody that's like weak and blame, and it's your mom's fault, and it's your dad's fault, and it's this and it's that. If you choose to get on the right bus, follow the right person, you're gonna have some success in your life. Now, the second part that Coach K's mother said is, if you are eventually leading a group of people, you have to be very careful who you let on your bus. So 2 things. Whose bus do I get on? Who do I follow? And who do I let on my bus? 1 is who's in your ear. 2 is who's on your team. And the people that are on your team, they're gonna be either pulling you down or pushing you up. It's very simple. Any environment I've grown in where I've seen people develop, there's a leader picking people up and there's people here that are pushing people up. Or the bad environments are the leader doesn't help anybody out and the people are pulling others down. So you have to be very, very protective of who you let on your team. 1 bad apple can destroy an entire business, company, sports team, whatever it may be. 1 bad apple can destroy it. Number 3, you got to get clear about your philosophies in life. And what do we talk about philosophies in life? When I was younger, I would go to a Bible study with this one man in Pasadena, and he was very good about talking about with Socrates and Seneca and Stoicism and Aristotle and all this Aristotle's understanding of what a friendship was and all these other things. And then we would bring in faith in it, and it was great conversation we would have every other Friday night in Pasadena from 6 p.m. to 2 o'clock in the morning. And we were really talking about philosophies of life. How many kids do you want to have? What do you want to do with your family? And so the philosophies of life is, what is the definition of success? Okay? To somebody, definition of success is being home at night at 4:30, having dinner with the family every night at 6 o'clock. That's some people's definition of success. It is not mine. To some people, the definition of success is being a cop and having a pension plan and you retire at 55 years old and you can go hunt and do whatever you want for the rest of your life. That's somebody's definition of success. It's not mine. It doesn't matter. You have to identify what is your definition of success. Man, as long as I got money and I can stay home and relax, that's my definition of success. The less I work, the better it is. Somebody else's definition of success is, man, I want to contribute. God gave me all these talents and I want to find a way to contribute to society. Wherever I work, I'm going to contribute. That's my definition of success. You got to get clear on this. And this journey of identifying that's going to take a while. Next one, faith. Why is faith important? Faith is very important. When I talk to my boys, I look at them and I say, listen, guys, what's a more important relationship to you? You guys with me or you guys with each other? And they'll say, us with you. I said, nope, it's the 2 of you guys together. Why is that? You guys are going to be in each other's life longer than I'm going to be in your life. You're looking at your best friend in life. God gave you your best friend, and that's your brother, and that's your sisters. That's your best friend in the world. You guys got to find a way to be good with each other. But I tell them, are you ever alone by yourself and I'm not around, you're scared? Yeah, what do? I don't know, Daddy. You pray. That's when you lean on God. That's where faith comes in. There's going to be many moments in your life where you don't know what to do. And you're like, man, am I going to be able to do this by myself? You have to pursue your faith, For me, I became a Christian man January 21st of 2004 when I gave my life to Christ. That was for me. I lived the life of an atheist for 25 years. I used to go to all these, I used to go to Scientology Bible studies. I used to go to Los Angeles Church of Christ. I used to study what LBS was with Joseph Smith and things. I used to study Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, Christianity, Judaism. I used to study this because I wanted to find out what role faith was going to be in my life. I wanted to do something big, and I knew I couldn't do it by myself. So this is something you have to pursue on your own. Number two, how to vote. Okay, young man, how do you vote? Do you vote Democratic? Do you vote Republican? Do you vote Independent? Does your vote matter? I don't think my vote matters. Who cares about my vote? My friend tells me my vote doesn't. My dad tells me, why would you even vote? Nobody's even going to care anyways. You only have one vote and there's 150 million people that are going to be voting in America. Why would you vote? It's a waste of time. That's victimhood language, but you got to realize, how are you going to vote? Are you going to vote for pro-life or pro-choice? Higher taxes or low taxes? High regulation, low regulation? Big government, small government? Strong military, weak military? More entitlement, less entitlement? How are you going to vote and why? By the way, I'm not going to tell you how to vote right now. I'm going to tell you it's your job to go and pursue and watch a bunch of debates and make a decision on how you choose to vote in life. That's one of the philosophies in life. The next one, relationship with money. What does money mean to you? I cannot tell you how many people I met, whether they make 10 grand a month, they're broke. They make 100 grand a month, they're broke. NFL pays them $300 million, 10 years later, they're broke. The relationship with money is understanding what this guy is. What is money to you? Is it something you get to spend? Most people, when they say, I want to be a millionaire one day, an author who wrote a book on money said, they're not saying they want to be a millionaire one day, like they want to have $1 million on the back. When a person says, I want to be a millionaire one day, they say, I want to be able to spend $1 million one day. But that's not the understanding of how money works. This means a soft pillow. This is a tool. This allows you to invest into your kids. This allows you and your wife to have good times together. This allows you to live in a secure area. This allows you to take care of your family when they're going through difficult times. This allows you to contribute to society, to certain charities you want to support. This is the relationship with money. I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to be in a pursuit of getting a clear understanding of a relationship with money. By the way, you make fun of people with money, you will never have money. You make fun of people ahead of you that are doing better than you financially, you will never be rich because money is not attracted to people like you. If you respect and lift up other people who won, money is going to say, you know what? This guy's got the identity who can handle people like me, wealth. I'm going to give a little money to him. And then more, boom. And then more, he got arrogant now. I'm going to go to another person. Very simple. Okay, but this as a tool. Nothing more, nothing less. And when it comes down to philosophies, when do you fight? When do you walk? When is it time for you to keep fighting? For your wife, for your parents, for your siblings? When is it time to walk from a relationship? And I'm sick and tired of this girl. She brings out the worst in me. I'm sick and tired of this friend. First, he's smoking cigarettes when he was 16. Then he's drinking beers at 18. Then he's smoking weed at 17, 18. Now he's doing cocaine. Now he's doing special K. Now he's doing ecstasy. Now he's doing everything. I'm done with this guy. I'm out. When is it time to fight? When is it time to walk? This would be one of the most difficult things for you to put together in your life, especially with the people that you have in your life. When to do one of these two things. And by the way, you got to come up with this, not my job. It is your job. I have my own philosophies on what's worked for me. You got to take your life experiences, read all the books, ask other people, see how this person does it, see how that person does it, and then eventually put it together, and that's your philosophy. And then every once in a while, you fine-tune, 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 and then you pass it down to the next generation. All right, next one here we got is your career, okay? When it comes down to your career, there's a few things you need to realize early on. For me, I realize I love people and I love numbers. Very simple. So what talents do you have? What interests do you have? Me. I'm good with numbers. Interest. I love people. I like people. I sincerely am interested in people's stories. I want to know why this guy got 2 degrees in national security. I want to know this guy who's his birthday today. I want to know this guy who just became a father right now. I want to know that guy who's from Chile, why he thinks the way he does, because he's a big fan of, the Middle East and all this other stuff. But I'm interested. I'm interested in people, and my talents are XYZ. Then it's my contacts and community. So through my contact, I got into the financial industry. The financial industry was able to use my talents and interests. Through that, my career took off, and the rest is history. So career-wise, what do you want to do with your career? And by the way, I've met people that go from company to company to company to company. Every single time is the company's fault. It's not the company's fault. It's on you. If the last 3 jobs didn't work out for you, it's you blame it on the company. It's not the company. It's all on you. I met many, many people like that who blame everything on the company, their boss, the industry. Nope, it's not how it works. 0 excuses when it comes down here. How can you make the situation better? How can you approach the game better? In every single company, there are those who are in the clique of talking shit behind the boss's back. Every company has this, not just ours, not just Amazon, not just Uber, every company. Then there are those in the company that just do enough, right? They just do enough to make sure nobody notices them. Then there is the guys that are like, I've showed up, I'm gonna work, I'm gonna represent, I'm gonna do my part, I wanna give back, I wanna make sure everything I can do to make this company better. They get noticed, they get elevated. Does it happen every time? No. Does it happen the second you do it? No. Sometimes it takes 3, 6, 12 months, yes. But eventually the market's gonna be like, who are you? You're getting promoted. Come on, we wanna give you a different opportunity, right? And sometimes you're gonna raise your hand. Can I do it? Can I do it? Can I volunteer? I'd like to be, well, not right now, maybe in 6 months. Okay, just consider me. Can I do it? Can I do it, right? But the reality is talent, interest, contact leads you to an opportunity, turning in your favor. Number 6, who and when to marry. Who and when to marry. My wife and I last night had a very, very good conversation together about kids. And we both would love to have more kids. The other day, we're having dinner with our kids, and our kids are begging for another kid. And trust me, we want it. But the 4th one was very difficult on my wife. So last night, we're kind of having that conversation, which is kind of like, she's telling me, she says, babe, you realize the next time, because Brooklyn came in our bed last night and she's just laying next, she's the best. She kicks me, does everything, slaps me in the face, doesn't bother me at all, right? She says, babe, you realize the next time we experience something like this is probably going to be in the next 15 years when our oldest decides to have a kid at 28 years old, God willing. That means we're not going to experience this for 15 years. Such an emotional moment. Why? We love kids. It's awesome. Yes, it's some difficult days, but it's unfreaking believable, right? So who to marry? You got to make sure you marry somebody based on set of values. You got to marry somebody that the temperament matches yours. You see how I am. There's plenty of documented hours of me talking. You know my temperament. I used to date a girl just like me, Italian. It's not going to work. So temperament, then personality type, kind of goes together. Does it match yours? Does it complement yours? Pace. Can she go at your pace? Do you want her to go at your pace? Do you want her just to support? How many kids do you want to have? Do you guys want to build a family based on the same values and principles? Who knows? Yes, no, maybe. But the reality of it is who and when. Some want to wait till later on in life. It's your choice. Some want to have it early on. It's your choice. And these are things like I was 23 years old. I knew for a fact I wasn't ready to get married at 23 years old. I was still going to clubs 6 nights a week. I was on Las Vegas. I can tell you every single one of the clubs I would go to Monday is the only night I would take a break, but every other night I was on a club. It was either Monday or Tuesday. It's been so long, 26 years. Monday or Tuesday was my break. Every other night I'm at the club. Every night I'm at the club. And then one day I'm like, I would never let my daughter marry the 23-year-old version of PBD. And I changed. And then from there, everything started changing for my life as well. But who to marry and when to marry. 7, being a father. How many kids? How to raise them. I'd like to have a lot of kids, but I got 4 right now, okay? We're blessed with our 4 kids that God's given us. How many kids do you want to have, okay? You watching this, how many kids do you want to have? 1? I don't want to have any kids. I just want me and my girl to enjoy each other's company. It's what we want to do. All right, so guess where you are? You ready? What community are you part of? You are part of the solopreneur parent. It's all about you guys enjoying each other's company. I don't want to give back. I just want to be just the 2 of us. No problem. It's your choice. It's not my choice. I'm not judging, but that's where you are. A part of us being here, God gave you life. You're one of the few trillion people that made it. Okay, you're runners that's going around. You made it. Congratulations. Guess what? What are you going to do with that gift? And how are you going to pass that knowledge, wisdom you have to somebody else, a child? So how many do you want to have? My philosophy was, you raise 1, they're too spoiled. You raise 2, they can team up against you. You have 3, one of them's always going to be on your side. I'm going to check the other 2. So always have 3 or more. But you have to choose this. How many kids and how you want to raise them based on what? The philosophies that you want to raise your kids with. How many and how you want to raise these kids. What kind of a connection do you want to have with them later on in life? Your dreams, very important. The moment you no longer have dreams, you're just cruising casual, you're content, putting on weight, nothing crazy. Every time people are around you, you're yawning too much, you're relaxing, you're this, and it's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. If you're in the game, you know your short-term goals, long-term dreams, what your dreams are with your family, what your dreams are with travel. Man, I haven't seen Monaco yet. I wanna go see Australia, I wanna go to Russia. I want to go to Armenia. I want to go to Brazil. I want to go to Canada. Great. What places do you want to go see around the world? Kids, dreams. I want to be able to do X, Y, Z for my kids. One day I want to have a kid. I want my kid to run for office one day. I want my kid to play baseball. I want my kid to be in business with me. Money, dreams, house, cars. You have all these other things that you're looking at. Church, charity, contribution, politics, your dreams. I want to run for office one day. I want to be able to become the local mayor, hypothetically. But the heavier this is, it's exciting. It's juicy. I want to be an executive one day with the company I'm in. I want to own a share of XYZ. I want to own a piece of XYZ. Whatever this may be. I want to have a lake house. Those things are important. If you write these out, this energizes you to go long term. Number 9, where to live. Nowadays, everybody's like, oh, it's hard to leave New York. I don't want to live. The other day, I'm at my cigar lounge. 15 Armenians show up to our event. The cigar lounge called Boredom. If you want to learn more about it, we'll put the link below. We're at the cigar lounge. Eric Trump is doing a podcast. Members only, they get a chance to meet Eric Trump. 15 Armenians show up. What are you guys doing here? Well, I watched your video, 10 reasons why to move to Florida. So we moved down here. Are you serious? Yeah, where do you live? Boca, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. No shit. Yeah, that's awesome. Conversations. A bunch of families moved here from Canada. Why are you moving? Well, let me tell you why we moved. Because we were sick and tired of the taxes and regulation. The climate for business was just complicated, but also the climate. We want to be in a warmer climate. Canada's cold. We want to be in a better place. Okay, no problem. Freedom. Where do you feel free? Raising your kids based on the values you want to raise them on. Lifestyle. I want to be by the water. I need to be by the water. I do. I need to be by the water. I lived in California. I love being by the water. Live in Florida, love being by the water. I lived in Dallas. I don't like the beach in Dallas. Okay, if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Okay, community. What community do you want to live in? Travel and locations. I'm here in Florida. I got Europe. I got Middle East. I got New York. I got Caribbean. I got, Bahamas. I got I got everything this way. Guess what? Travel and locations that you got to be looking at. And by the way, you have to also realize everywhere you live, there's a price. California earthquakes, Dallas tornadoes, and the weather shuts down winter. Florida, we got hurricanes, high tide, water, all this stuff that happens. Nowhere's going to be perfect. You have to make a decision where you want to live. And last but not least is your purpose in life. What is your purpose? At 28 years old, I made a decision. I want to be a leader amongst leaders. For the rest of my life, that's been my MO. Hasn't changed at 46. I'm about to turn 47 on October 18th. In 11 days, I'll be 47 years old. It's been the same since 28 years old. It's been consistent, it's been focused, and now it's about finding ways to elevate people around me, my kids, my family. Folks, I got certain goals I have in place with the Assyrian community. I got certain goals in place with the Armenian community. My dad's Assyrian, my mother's Armenian, Boghosian, Bet David. I was born and raised in Iran. I got certain things I like to see happen with the Iranian community, and of course, the country that changed my life, America. Greatest country in the world, in my opinion. So, purpose. What is that purpose for you? This is like having a child. It takes a while. This is like finding a wife. It doesn't happen overnight. Don't expect to watch this and say, why can't I come up with my purpose tonight in 3 hours? It doesn't work that way. If you're in pursuit of this, you read biographies, you read autobiographies, you watch documentaries, you study certain people that did big things in life, and you're like, I want to see what Joseph Kennedy did. I relate to what this person did. I love what Charlie Kirk, I love what Emma, I love what this person, I love what the Buffett, and then boom, you all of a sudden like, I got it. This is who I'm going to be. No problem. Light it up and go after it. So, again, I got 15 other things where I can host a 2-day event privately for young men and have these conversations with you. But this is a brief, here you go, look at this here. This is what I wrote here, like back in the days, except I don't have ink all over my clothes. But this is 10 of the most important decisions you need to make as a young man. If you're watching this right now and you're saying, man, my brother's got to see it, my nephew's got to see it, I think my daughter's got to see it. I think my sister's got to see it. I think my wife has got to see it. Share it with others. They need to see something like this. If you got value out of this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't yet ordered the book, Choose Your Enemies Wisely, the link will be below. If you want this selfish index with all these notes on one page, the QR code will probably be either here or here on Manek Circle, the Entrepreneur Circle. Go download it, it's free. And if you want to communicate with each other for $5, all of you guys can network with each other as well per month. But aside from that, there's another video I'm going to share with you. If you enjoyed today's video, I did a video many years ago on 20 rules of money. If you've never seen that video, 20 rules of money, click here to watch it. I think that'll help you with your philosophy of money. With that being said, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.